Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to do a monthly reset. So, let's go over May. Here's my little beautiful little thing. So pretty. I love my Notion. But we're going to do May first. So, one of my goals was to get paid between $600 and $1,000. I think it was actually slightly over 1,000, but I just didn't know how much I was gonna get paid because I had just started that job and I hadn't gotten paid yet. So that's checked off. Fix my routines. I wrote underneath that, write down my routines, which obviously I have done. I don't know if I wrote it down on here, but it's on my phone. No, it's on my iPad. I don't know why I'm pointing over here. Like, my iPad's all the way over there. So it's on my iPad. So maybe I'll make a goal to write it down on Notion. I think I put it on Notion. I just don't remember where. So yeah, we need to figure that out. Oh, I think I do remember where I put it. So I put it under, I made myself a dashboard. Yeah, and I put it under that. And I called it rituals and routines. I just don't think I'll ever go to that. That's the only thing I'm worried about. So yeah. And then figure out how much my loan payment is per month. I have a general idea. I really want to check it off because I have a general idea. I just don't know the exact amount, and I'm pretty sure I have like enough in my bank account right now to make a full loan payment, but I'm just gonna say no for now. I'm gonna say that I did the fixing the routines because I wrote down the routines, but I haven't technically fixed it, so, but just to make myself feel better. Anyway, I have a general idea. It's just I don't know the exact amount, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to check that out. Check that off. I probably won't know the exact amount until the date of the deferment period is over, which is this month. So I'll probably just move that to this month then. Walk an average of 4,000 steps. I have not done that. I mean, I did that. And then the last one was pay $500 on my loans. I ended up paying $75 across all my loans because I didn't know how much I would have in my bank account by the end of the month, and I didn't want to make a loan payment and then make another one and it not go through, and then I was just trying to figure out the connecting of the bank accounts this month. That's what I decided to do mid-month, so maybe I'll bring this to this month as well. I'm gonna reflect on my goals and then I'll be back. So I have done my reflection, which basically I just wrote a little paragraph on like how I felt I achieved my goals and stuff, and I'm going to make 5 goals. I have 2 already made that were from last month that I didn't achieve that I brought into this month, and that's figure out how much loan payment is per month and then pay $500 on my loan. I have 2 in my mind right now that I'm just going to type real fast. Okay, I am all done. So I already told you my first 2 goals. The third goal is come up with a loan payment plan. So like, am I going to do the snowball method or the avalanche method? And in case you don't know what the difference between them is the snowball method is paying off the smallest loan first, or the one with the smallest interest rate first. Either one, I think it's typically like the actual interest rate, but you could also think of it as like the smallest loan. That's like how I like to think of it too. I do know that I'm prioritizing my private loans over my federal loans just because both of my parents are co-signed on those loans, and it's more of my own loan for the federal loan. Anyway, that's just my preference. So like, do I want to do the snowball method, which is the smallest interest rate, or the avalanche method, which is the biggest interest rate? The only con to that would be at the rate that I would be paying off my loans. I don't know if I'm gonna have I don't know yet if I'll have like extra room to breathe. I have other things in my budget that I need to be paying for each month, including gas, and I'm a Christian, so I tithe 10% to my church. So like, yeah, like, I don't know outside of that if that other big chunk of money, if outside of that there's any extra. Even $1 or $2 goes far in my opinion. So we'll see if there is extra money. But yeah, that's what I mean by loan payment plan, like outside of like the regular loan amount that my lenders have told me that I have to pay per month. Any extra breathing room do I want to pay the lowest or the highest? I think I have a general idea. I might be doing the avalanche method, which is the biggest loan amount with the highest interest rate. Typically, the bigger the loan, the higher the interest, in my experience at least. And in my experience, I've had to just get bigger and bigger and bigger loans each single semester that goes by. So I think that's what I'll end up doing. I'm not entirely sure. The only con with that is it takes people a lot longer to get through one big huge loan, even if they're doing chunks. In my opinion, the only way to get through those big huge loans faster would be having more income, and paying like huge $1,000 chunk payments per month specifically for my loan. The largest one I have is above $10,000, between $10,000 to $15,000 including interest. So yeah, that would be ideal, but we'll see what actually happens. I've been advised to do the snowball method just because it's faster. Like, it gets you, you're gonna pay interest regardless, but you're gonna pay more interest if you do the snowball method in the long run, especially like at my amount of money that I can contribute per month, just because of all that. Like, I'd be paying more interest, which I don't really like the idea of paying a lot of interest. I already have like $6,000 interest, and yeah, and half my payments, once I get that interest down, is going to be interest anyway. So it is what it is. It's going to feel like I'm not paying on my principal for the first maybe months to a year, depending on if I find another job or not. So we'll see. We'll figure out that in probably another video. I might make another video on like what I decide to do. But yeah, and then no screens 30 minutes after waking up and 30 minutes before. I feel like I'm getting better at this. I want to try to get to a point where it's 30 minutes. This is like by the end of the month. I'm not hoping that, like, I'm not tracking it day by day. I'm just hoping by the end of the month I have no screens 30 minutes before, after waking up and 30 minutes before bed. I already have an idea of like what a goal I want to make next month, like in July, like going to bed before a certain time each night. I want to get back to an old bedtime routine, but I don't want to add any more goals, because I feel like 5 is like very helpful for me, just because I don't have like a ton of time off from work all the time. And I don't know about you, but I need to get better at like having a work-life balance, in the sense of like, on my days that I have work, I don't feel like I'm consumed by work before going into work, if that makes sense. I've just always been this way, where it's just like, I'm so like into the fact that I have to work that I'm just like, I can't do anything else, and I'll distract myself on social media instead of doing something for myself. So I need to get better at that. And then average 6,000 steps. We are 4 days in to the month as I'm recording this, and the first 3 days we are going off strong. I walked over 6,000 each day, and then 2 days ago actually I walked 10,000 steps just in case I have a busy day at work where, because some of my shifts have I have a closing and then an opening, which means I just basically have to get ready for bed as soon as I get home and go to bed and then wake up and do it all over. So on those days, I don't know if I'll have enough steps for the day to make it to 6,000. That's why I want to average 6,000, because I feel better having like an average step count versus achieving 6,000 every day, because then it's like at the end of the month, if you miss 2 or 3 days, like you technically can't say you achieved that, because even if you give grace to yourself, because that just defeats the purpose. But yeah, that's my monthly reset, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one.